We're here to recognize everyone who believes in the Salvation Army's mission to help our neighbors in need. And we are very blessed to have you join us in this event. This event is the Salvation Army's way of saying thank you to all of our wonderful volunteers. After all, volunteers are the heart and soul of our Red Kettle Christmas campaign. It truly takes an army to help those in need, and the Salvation Army is extremely fortunate to have its Metro Detroit Army. So thank you for helping us help others throughout Metro Detroit. And at this time, I'd like to acknowledge just a few partners who have made this year exceptionally special. First, the Royal Park Hotel up in Rochester, which decorated for and celebrated the season, offering guests multiple opportunities to help a lending hand to families in need. Also to Molina Cares Accord, which provided coats to help keep kids warm during this harsh Michigan winter. To WJLB for hosting our 38th annual Coats for Kids Radiothon, an 8-hour event to raise money and collect coats and other winter accessories. To AT&T Michigan for serving as our official corporate bell ringing partner. And throughout the season, AT&T employees put in hours at Metro Detroit Red Kettle locations to help raise money for the Christmas campaign. To David Lewis and Herman Moore for their commitment as our Red Kettle Christmas campaign co-chairpersons. And though this is our first time having co-chairs, David and Herman are no strangers to the task. Both gentlemen stepped up once again to help raise awareness and encourage the community to donate. Well, also to Walmart for its Angel Tree program, which allowed community members to shop for gifts for local families by choosing tags off of angel trees scattered throughout participating Walmart locations. And to Bank of America for its Bountiful Boxes program, which helps provide holiday meal for families who are forced to choose between things like putting food on the table or buying Christmas presents for their children. Well, thanks to your generosity, we remain hopeful as we continue to count every dollar toward the $8.3 million Red Kettle Christmas campaign fundraising goal. Right now, we have just around $1.3 million to go to reach our goal, but we believe that we can do that. And remember, all funds raised stay here in the community that they are given and directly benefit individuals and families served by the Salvation Army's 13 core community centers. So please continue to keep us in mind as we continue to fundraise through the end of January. And please remind your friends and families that if they haven't donated, it's not too late. They can still make a donation. And you can still make a donation by texting the word GIFT, G-I-F-T, to the number 24365. You can make a donation by visiting salmich.org, SALMICH.org, salmish.org. Or you can make a donation by calling 877-SAL-MISH. And remember, every penny of every donation makes a difference for those in need in the community. Now, every day, individuals and families turn to the Salvation Army for help. And I just want to give you a couple of examples. Individuals like Jane, who is struggling to provide for her 3 great-grandchildren. Her utilities were about to be turned off when a neighbor told her about the Salvation Army. So she made her way to the Farmington Hills Core Community Center, and they were able to help Jane keep her lights on and her heat on, as well as help provide food for holiday meals and Christmas presents for under the tree. Another example is we were able to help a person named Sterling and her daughter with warm winter clothing, household essentials, and Christmas presents. And Brandy, who was facing losing her home for her and her 2 children. The Salvation Army was able to help her keep in her home and provide winter essentials for her son and daughter, along with Christmas gifts. And all of this would not be possible without the generosity of our donors and volunteers who graciously donate their time at our Red Kettles. So this truly is God's work, and we are honored to have wonderful people like you to support us and our families. Well, now here to help us reflect on the past year's fundraising efforts is the chair of the Salvation Army Metro Detroit Advisory Board, Teresa DeBassianti.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Turner. And hello, everyone. I'm happy to join you this morning in celebration of another Red Kettle Christmas campaign. You know, the Red Kettle Christmas campaign, it means so much to me. I know it does to all of you as well. But I personally also enjoy going out and ringing the bell myself. And as I was out even this season, I was thinking through, it's so cold, and this is what our clients are faced with each and every day, looking for that next meal. They're cold, they're hungry, and the Salvation Army's Christmas campaign, this is such a savior for so many people and helps people all throughout the year. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you do. And on behalf of the Salvation Army Metro Detroit Advisory Board, I'd also like to start by, again, thanking you for your unwavering commitment and support. This campaign would not be successful without all of you. And I'd also like to take this time to also thank my fellow board members whose dedication to the Salvation Army shines through with everything they do, attending events, donating, volunteering, and more. We are so lucky to have you. In over 16 years of serving on this great advisory board, I've had the privilege of witnessing firsthand what this community is capable of. This year was filled with persistence, kindness, and community that only Metro Detroiters can bring to the table. I saw persistence during the 2021 Red Kettle Christmas campaign kickoff event. As soon as it was safe, Detroiters gathered in Campus Martius to watch the world's tallest red kettle light up, launching the start of the giving season. It was so inspiring to stand on the stage once again, overlooking the optimism and excitement in the crowd. I knew this year's fundraising campaign would be one to remember. I saw kindness of those adopting families in need through the Walmart Angel Tree Program. Local stores filled with trees decorated with those special tags, each with the name and description of an angel in need. Thanks to Walmart and our Walmart shoppers, and hundreds of families now had a Christmas. I also saw community when my own organization, Bank of America, stepped up to put a twist on a favorite Christmas tradition of ours. Rather than making an assembly line to pack bountiful boxes this year, we provided bountiful gift cards to help families in need. Though this year's efforts didn't look quite like years past, the results were the same. Christmas meals were had by those who would otherwise go without. I'm extremely proud of not just my Bank of America family, but of this entire business community for what it does to help our neighbors in need. And now I'm happy to welcome a very special colleague and friend, AT&T Michigan President and 2021 Red Kettle Christmas Campaign Co-Chair, Mr. David Lewis.
Well, thank you, Teresa, and good morning to everyone. Happy New Year, and I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. You're able to spend time with your family, your friends, your colleagues. You were able to unplug and get ready for a wonderful 2022. When I reflect over last year, I feel generosity was the theme. One of my favorite highlights of the 2021 Red Kettle Christmas campaign was a successful Giving Tuesday fundraiser. This year, the AT&T Michigan team encouraged the community to give to the Salvation Army, challenging them to meet our $25,000 matching donation. Now, it wasn't easy, but in just one day, the community stepped up to join the Salvation Army in its fight for good. When we made that challenge, we knew the community would step up, just not that fast, which tells us all that amidst all that's going on in the world today, people still make time within their hearts and their wallets to give back. And I'm very grateful for that. Outside of Giving Tuesday, I was particularly inspired by the Secret Santas we had this season. If you read the news in December, you might have heard that the Salvation Army had a few mysterious donors. Maybe one or two of you were lucky enough to be the bell ringer who received a gold coin in your bucket. Not one, not two, but 5 rare gold coins were donated during this year's Red Kettle Christmas campaign. Those gold coins add up to thousands of dollars to support those in need. They represent meals for a hungry family, shelter for someone who doesn't have a roof over their head, or the ability to give a child the opportunity to explore the outdoors. This year, I was also inspired by the generosity of our trusted volunteers, who not only rang bells at storefront kettles, but also signed up to be virtual bell ringers. People like Jackie in South Lyon, who rang for 177 hours with her group. Let me repeat that, 177 hours. Great work, Jackie. There's also Jim in Canton, who raised nearly $17,000 with his group. How impressive is that? That's why we say volunteers are the backbone of the organization. It's because you are. It's because of the commitment made by Jerome in Westland, who rang for 120 hours, and Robert and the Royal Oak Lions, who raised more than $12,000, and the dynamic duo Pam and Grace, who collectively raised nearly $8,000 in 80 hours. Just incredible. As Lieutenant Colonel Turner said, it takes an army to help those in need. And the Salvation Army is extremely fortunate to have people like you on our side. The Salvation Army could not provide its critical social services and programs if it didn't have you to man and count kettles. Your work is so important and so appreciated. So please give yourselves a round of applause, because all of this is something to be proud of. Now, I have the privilege to introduce my Red Kettle Christmas campaign co-chair and friend, Herman Moore of Team 84. Herman.
Thank you very much, David. I'm honored to be here with everyone this morning. And despite the continued hardship and uncertainty in this past year, the Salvation Army and its supporters remain committed to doing the most good. Volunteers, donors, events, and opportunities all add up to help the Salvation Army provide a wide range of critical services and social services and programs to those who need it the most, not just during the holiday season, but all year long. And when I reflect back on the past few months, two moments really stood out to me. First, I'm incredibly proud to announce that we met the match for the second annual $84,000 challenge. And I want to say thanks again to the anonymous donor. Donations to the Salvation Army were doubled up to the $84,000, which goes a long way to support those in need in the community. I'm also very impressed by the growth in this year's Celebrity Bell Ringing Weekend, which transformed to become the first ever hybrid weekend for our local media volunteers. This year event was far and away the Salvation Army's most successful Celebrity Bell Ringing event to date. The 2021 fundraiser was truly the best of both worlds, smashing last year's $12,000 total, raising nearly $15,000 in just 3 days. And of course, this is thanks to more than 40 media personalities who returned to the storefront Red Kettles while also sharing their fundraising efforts on social media, urging their fans to donate to their virtual Red Kettles. At this time, I would like to recognize a few key players that helped us raise that record raising amount. And it was a great year. So coming into third place was Jade Springart of WRIF, who raised more than $1,200. Second place was Big Jim from WCSX, who raised an impressive $3,200. And in first place, the Celebrity Bell Ringer is Screaming Scott from WRIF, who raised more than $3,000. Now, while he couldn't ring the bell at a traditional kettle location, Screaming Scott was generous enough to bring a red kettle to his Rock for Talk event, where he raised $1,200 in person. And I want to also mention the honorable mentions. We had honorable mentions that included Donna Flynn and the WCSX City of the Week crew, WWJ's Aaron V, and Riff of WRIF Meltdown, and WOMC JJ Johnson. And I want to say thank you again, from the bottom of my heart to all the Salvation Army and the 2021 virtual and in-person volunteers who gave their all, who gave their best to go out and make this happen for us. So I want you all to give yourselves a hand. Now I'd like to welcome back Lieutenant Colonel John Turner.
Well, thank you, Herman. We appreciate you, Teresa, and David for joining us to celebrate our incredible volunteers who made this all possible. And we cannot express how truly grateful we are for all those who signed up as bell ringers, who created virtual Red Kettle sites, who helped spread the word and went above and beyond to help those in need in the community. The positivity you have brought to this campaign is overwhelming and cannot easily be put into words. So we made a video. And this brief video highlights and features some of our favorite memories from the season, demonstrating a small piece of what was accomplished this year. We hope you enjoy it.
The Salvation Army's Red Kettle Christmas campaign is in full swing, and we need the community support to help families in need.
When you give to the Salvation Army, you're lending a hand to bring hope for the road ahead through food assistance, shelter, and more.
Well, what a fantastic recap of everyone's efforts. Well, while this past year was difficult, this video also showcases the power of our community, doesn't it? One that's filled with love, compassion, and hope. Well, before we depart today, I'd like to share one final piece of news with you. The Salvation Army's 35th annual Bed and Bread Radiothon is hosted by WJR and supported by program partner Ford Motor Company Fund. Will be a 27-hour event fighting hunger and homelessness in Metro Detroit. And our Bed and Bread program feeds and shelters Metro Detroiters every single day of the year. So tune in to WJR starting at 4:00 p.m. on Thursday, February 24. Get your calendars out and mark that, February 24 at 4:00 p.m. to hear how the Salvation Army is helping our neighbors in need. We switched to a live broadcast at 6:00 a.m. on Friday, February 25, featuring Paul W. Smith and Kevin Dietz, Guy Gordon, and other WJR personalities. And we'll also have a very special guest. Yes, the one and only Dick Purton, who will co-host the last 3 hours of the Radiothon until its conclusion at 7:00 p.m. So we sincerely hope that you can join us. And while we can't wait to see what 2022 has in store for the Salvation Army and all who support its mission, we expect it's going to be a great year. So we're looking forward to it. Thank you again for all of you and your support this year and every year. May God bless you and enjoy the rest of your day.